And after that, I went back to Pensacola, finished up gunnery and carrier qualification on this airplane here.
This is the AT-6, correct?
This is, we call it, it's AT-6 Air Force, SNJ Navy.
SNJ.
Yeah. From that airplane, they don't have it in here now, but they've got a PBY here. I flew that PBY at Pensacola, twin-engine seaplane, only seaplane. I flew a twin-engine SNB at Pensacola. Then after Pensacola, I went to Jacksonville, and I was in one of the last class of Helldivers, SB-2Cs. And from the SB-2C, I went to Quonset Point first and flew the TBM. And then from the TBM, I went and I flew the ADs. Then I flew the Corsair.
Is it recorded?
In the reserves at Squantum after I was in reserves when I was flying weekends for the Navy. And I came back in for Korea. I flew the electronic version of this AD 5W from the Coral Sea. I stayed 2 years, then I came back in the Navy, and the first airplane I flew was in training command, flying SNJs again, teaching in formation flying. Then I moved over to Softley Field. The T-28 over there just came to Softley, and I was in the first squadron of 12 planes that used it as a trainer. That was the big follow-on from this. And I flew the T-28. And after the T-28, I was the operations officer of the instructor training unit. And I flew the Lockheed, I forget what we called it. It was the Star or something, one of the first jets. And then I flew the F-9F jets, which I had transitioned to as a reserve. And I flew them right here. And then I transitioned and stayed into the A-4s. And I flew that until I was shot down.
What was the most difficult thing about the transition from prop to jets?
Well, in the reserves, it was a nice way to do it. It was a lot easier. The reserves figured if you could get it started, you could fly it. So we came in one weekend expecting to fly Corsairs, and they said, no, we got some jets and we're going to switch the jets tomorrow. So we went to school Friday night, brought the jets, and flew the next day. And I didn't have any. There is a big transition, though, because you're flying an airplane and being able to perform with that airplane, two different things. You can fly it pretty easy, land, take off, and move around. But the transition from doing things at 150, 160 knots, or 170 knots to 450, 500 knots, there's a big difference there. And you have to really speed up pretty fast. Your thinking just has to improve. The astronauts showed you that when they had to guide their capsules back within a certain distance. They were real professionals, and they got that by flying jets. Okay.
And what was the effect of dealing with that many more G-forces? This is before you had G-suits, right?
Oh, well, we didn't have G-suits when I was flying this airplane, the props. No, I got the G-suits in the jets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's a rundown. Okay, I'm going to go use the head.
Yes, sir.
And then we can pick it up.
Okay.
Do whatever you want.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.